Welcome back to Taste of Victory. We got a really hype anticipated deck for you today. This is Purple Lilith Loop. This is one of the most talked about decks, and I do believe it actually just topped recently going off of the first BT5 Bandai Regional. So let's go ahead and break down this deck and see what's up with all the hype. First off, we gotta get the name of the game is going to be Lilithmon, since that is the deck it's named after, Lilith Loop. It is 3 to Digivolve into, 11,000 DP. When Digivolving, you have 10 or more cards in your trash. You may return up to 2 purple option cards from your trash to your hand, and then your turn, once per turn, when using an option card, gain 2 memory. So Lilith is the crux of this deck because with Jack Raid, which is 0 to play, and then main, gain 1 memory for every 10 cards in your trash, you could play this, gain memory, gain another 2 off of Lilith, so now you're back at 3 after Digivolving to Lilith going to 0, and then you could go into Zwart, use his effect to bounce it back, and then start the loop over and over again for as long as you're able to attack with your stacks. So that is really crazy and could potentially lead to a lot of bodies on board overpowering your opponent. So let's go ahead and read Sword to see why that plays into it. So Omnimon Sword, it is 15,000 DP, 15 to play, 6 to Digivolve into, and when Digivolving, trash the top 3 cards of your deck. Then you may play up to 2 black or purple Digimon cards with play cost of 8 or less from your trash without paying their memory costs. When attacking, you may return 1 level 6 Digimon card in this Digimon's Digivolution cards to its owner's hand to delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with a play cost of 12 or less. So not only are you able to get Lilithmon back to create the loop and start going, you also get to remove an opponent's potentially really dangerous Digimon with that when attacking effect. So this is amazing because it loads up your trash, it plays things out from the trash, in which case you're going to play like an ultimate, and then Digivolve that ultimate into Lilithmon, and because it's a new Lilithmon stack, you can use its effect again to gain another 2, making every Jack Raid you play 3 memory, and eventually 4 if you get like 20 cards in trash. So it's really crazy, and it really helps overpower your opponent, and just get a really strong board going to set up lethal next turn. So there is some weaknesses to it, as for example, you don't really have anything with Rush just yet. That's one of the boosts of it in booster set 6, but right now, a lot of the things you're going to be summoning out can't attack that turn, so you're kind of setting up for lethal and hoping to go wide enough that your opponent can't respond to get lethal next turn. Let's go ahead and start breaking down this deck. We got 5 eggs. A lot of people will like to run just 4 for the consistency of seeing Meramon, but this is a really slow-ish deck because you're building up and looking for your combo pieces. So I do like that 5th egg for the grind game to help you with it. First is DemiMeramon, which we are running 4 of. On deletion, trigger, draw 1. Draw 1 card from your deck, and then trash 1 card in your hand. DemiMeramon is our go-to egg of choice because it's amazing. In general, it's the best purple egg because not only do you get to draw 1, fixing your hand, getting closer to your combo pieces, you also get to set up your trash with what you want for anything you might need to grab out of it later. So like if you don't need a Jack Raid now, you could toss it and grab it later with Lilithmon, and it also hits that 10 in trash to be able to grab it back. Since we do have a few effects, I believe, that need that 10 in trash. So next up, we got Pagumon, which is just the 1-of to round out our 5th egg, which is on deletion, trash the top 2 cards of your deck. So there is a worry about that, like maybe you'll trash something you need, but you do want 10 cards in trash for the effects to go off in this deck. So I do like that 1 Pagumon just to be able to, like, if you delete a stack early, hurry up and get your trash filled up. Because with this, like if this is over like a champion, that's already like, what, 5 cards in your trash? So it's pretty decent. You can choose to not run this egg for sure. On to our rookies, of which we have 13. First up is Gabumon. Similar reasons to DemiMeramon is that it's amazing for drawing and for filling up your trash. On deletion, trigger, draw 2, and then trash 1 card from your hand. So it's a +1 when this thing is deleted. So not only do you get 2 new cards, which may be the combo pieces you're looking for, you also get to fill up your trash, and again with what you want. So it's amazing for that draw power and setting up your, not graveyard, your trash. Next up, we got Tapirmon. On deletion, trigger, draw 1. It is 3 to play, 2000 DP. So Tapirmon is like the MVP of purple. Everyone's been using this since BT1 and probably will be using it into BT7 because it's so good. Because like it's only 3 to play into, you can Digivolve into it. If this is over a DemiMeramon, this is instantly a +2. If this is over a Gabumon when deleted, it's instantly a +3. It's an amazing card to have in purple for that reason. Next up, we got 2 Gazimon. 2 just because we have other rookies that want to do more to add to the strategy of Lilith Loop, but Gazimon is amazing because your opponent can't gain memory with Tamer effects. Your opponent can't gain memory except with Tamer effects, and this is on both turns. So this is great for shutting down Hammer Spark in Imperial, which is a really rough matchup for you because Lilith Loop is a slow deck, so it really struggles in general into OTK strategy. So things that are as fast as Imperialmon are really scary. So if you can shut off that Hammer Spark, that helps you make the matchup just a little bit better for you. Same thing with Lord Nightmon, it shuts off their Blinding Ray, I believe it's called. So that's why I run 2 of it. We hope to see it, but it's not crucial to the strategy. Next up, we got 4 Labramon. On play, trigger, draw 1, then trash 1 card in your hand. So similar to all the rookies and babies we're running, it's because it draws closer to your combo pieces while also filling up your trash. That is our 13 rookies. Let's move up to our champion lineup, of which we got 12. First up, Vilemon, 2-cost blocker. So as far as I'm aware, please correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe Purple has another 1-cost Digivolving champion. So in my opinion, the best thing to fill that last slot up with would be Vilemon, because it is a blocker of 6k. So that dodges removal from Nidhoggmon, that dodges removal from Shoutmon, and this is a slower deck. So you do want to have something, if you can get to it, you know, you want to have those blockers out protecting you until you have your combos set up. You shouldn't like prioritize it, but like it's nice to have, you know. If you could deflect those hits until your combo's actually ready to go, Vilemon's really useful for that, so I figure 4 of this is really strong. Next up, we do have DemiMeramon. If you've been playing up to this point, very self-explanatory. Just because of that 1 cost to Digivolve into a champion, when normally champions are 2 to cost, that is huge. So 1 cost Digivolution Meramon, and then it is only 5 to play, so it's not the end of the world if you have to hardcast it. Next up, we got Devimon, which is also a blocker, except this one is 1 cost to Digivolve into, so you get all the amazing advantage of having a blocker on the field with the cheaper Digivolution cost. So definitely need 4 of that. That is our champion lineup. Next up, we move to our ultimates, of which there will be 8. The most important one we have here is, well, arguably, is LadyDevimon. 8,000 DP, which is pretty insane in general for an ultimate with an effect. 3 to Digivolve into, and when Digivolving, trigger, draw 2. Then trash 2 cards in your hand. So it's like the inheritables from the rookie and eggs we've been seeing up until this point, except even better, because now you get to draw 2 and trash 2. So you fill up your trash quickly, and you draw heavily into your combo pieces if you're not seeing them yet. Because you gotta remember, with every Digivolution, you always draw. So Lilithmon is a draw, or LadyDevimon, I mean, is a draw 3 on Digivolution. It's insane. And its inheritable is, once per turn, when you use an option card, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. So we do rely on Jack Rays. So let's say we're playing the Mirror, or we're playing like, what other color has one right now? I think yellow has one that shuts off the these effects. I know red has one. Or maybe not. I don't remember what other color has it right now besides Gazimon. Tapirmon, green has it, like Tapirmon has it. So if they play this out trying to stop your Hammer Sparks or your Jack Rays, which are really important to the strategy, you can just go into LadyDevimon, just go into Lilithmon or any other Mega. And, oh, like I said, it's your only Mega. Go into that, play your Jack Raid anyways, and then trigger the effect, popping your Gazimon or Tapirmon, whatever they have out on your field, and you're able to get your other Jack Raids back. They work again. So yeah, LadyDevimon Inheritable is really useful for that. Also just great in general for the Rookie Rush matchup to get bodies off board, because Rookie Rush doesn't have a lot of drop power, so being able to clear his board is really devastating for it once it's played out its whole hand. It's hard to come back from that. LadyDevimon is amazing. Next up we got, and also incredibly important, level 5, BlackWarGrowlmon. 7,000 DP, 3 to Digivolve, and main Digiburst 3. You may play 1 level 3 purple Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. Any on-play effects on Digimon play with this effect don't activate. And its inheritable is, when attacking once per turn, you may delete one of your other Digimon to unsuspend this Digimon. So this is really cool with Zwart, because, like I said, this strategy is really preparing for the future once you start getting all the bodies on board, because all of them have summoning sickness even if they're played from the trash. So this helps you chip away security a little bit more by deleting one of the bodies you brought out, maybe, or maybe by deleting the body you brought out of his Digiburst, and you can get another swing with Omnimon Sword. And at 15k DP, they're pretty safe swings. So BlackWarGrowlmon's pretty cool for that. Of course, there are other options you could choose to run. There's actually a multitude of options you could choose to run. For starters, you could try maybe Meramon, like dropping this down to 2 and go 2-2 with Meramon, or just run 4 Meramon, because if you play it off Zwart, it does activate. So you can play something else and then Meramon, and then you have removal off of this card you played for free with a fusion, letting you go into Omnimod Sword for free. So Meramon is a really powerful option if you want your loop to be more proactive and delete your opponent's Digimon. There is also the Cerberus package you could consider running. Because these guys do believe have Rush, yeah. When you play these guys out, these guys do have Rush. So you could like run, instead of this, you could run 4 of this. When you play this off of Omnimon Sword, it'll have Rush, so you Digivolve into Lilithmon, go into Mega Digimon Fusion, and you'll be able to attack with that new one to keep the loop going more consistently. So Cerberus Mon Werewolf mode is definitely very useful for that. You could also possibly consider running this one, because then you gain 9 memory off of this. Which, if you cheated it out, that would be absolutely insane. Just free 9 memory out of nowhere. So that's very fun. I believe this is the package that the number was 9th place. Please, if you're in the comments, go ahead and correct me what the actual placement was. I don't know if Top Cuts released them just yet, but I do believe the top 16, let's say, Lilith Loop deck that made at the regionals this weekend was playing this deck, or rather this package of Cerberus one. So it's definitely a lot of options you could experiment with for that last slot. You could even also, honestly, also run, I believe it's Meramon's Ultimate, just because it's a 2 cost unless you quickly go into Lilithmon. There's very many flex spots in this slot. So we talked about Lilithmon already. She lets you grab back Jack Raids if you have 10 in trash. She lets you gain an extra memory off of all your options, in this case Jack Raid, and even Fusion, because if you look at the second effect, that is not color specific. So Fuse does give you the extra memory. Keep that in mind. So it's huge for this deck to keep looping and cycling. It's the very core. And Omnimod Sword, we saw, lets you add it back to hand so you keep looping it. It's really strong removal. Also lets you set up your board. Incredibly powerful card. Jack Ray's security is gained 2 memory, and its main effect is 1 memory for every 10 cards in trash. So the longer this goes on, the stronger this does become, because eventually you'll get 20 cards in trash, eventually you'll get 30, you'll be gaining 2 to 3 memory. It's really crucial to be able to like go into 3, go to 0, and then draw again. And then, you know, play this, get the memory for it. Next up, we got Mega Digimon Fusion. It is 0 cost main. The next time one of your Digimon digivolves from level 6 to level 7 this turn, reduce the memory cost of the Digivolution by 6. At the end of the turn, return the Digimon that digivolved with this effect to the bottom of its owner's deck. Trash all of the Digivolution cards of this Digimon, and then security effect, add this card to hand. So you don't mind your card going to the trash too much, because if you have BlackWarGrowlmon already did 2 checks, it already summoned a bunch of bodies on board to replace it. So that part isn't too bad. And then sometimes like you could even be setting up LTK with this, so you just go ahead and swing for game. You don't care if it goes to the bottom. Either way, it doesn't matter, because this is amazing, letting you go into Omnimon Sword for literally free, because it reduces by 6 and it costs 6 to digivolve into. So that's what lets you keep the loop going, all these cards together. And the fact that it adds to hand is amazing for being able to not worried about losing it. So like, even if it's in security, you'll always have it. And we only run 3 because you don't really need 4. It gets kind of bricky with all the draw power that you do have. Same with Jack Raid, but Lilithmon and Zwart are the absolute core of the deck. So I really want these, because these don't like do anything for you in security. So you want to make sure as many of them could be in your deck as opposed to being prized in security. Which is why, and this guy adds, so you don't really need all 4 because of that. And then finally, to close it out, we got Aiba. You don't attack with your rookies too much, so it's a lot better slot in here than it is Imperial, although I still think it is very great in Imperial. You just got to time your swings. Next up, we got 2 to play cost, 2 to play. Your turn. When one of your Digimon digivolves, you may suspend this tamer to trigger draw 1. All turns, all level 3 Digimon gain. When attacking, lose 1 memory, and security is the same as every tamer. Play this card without paying its memory cost. So this is amazing, because all your Digivolutions turn into 2 draw now if you have Takumi Aiba out. With LadyDevimon, that becomes 4. That is insane, just absolutely crazy, and it's amazing. This helps your consistency. This helps you see the combo pieces you are missing, because if you're just missing 1 card, you want to dig as much as you can. And this also helps your Rookie Rush matchup even more, because of making them lose 1 memory, potentially making them miss out on a swing if it passes turn, and they still have other Digimon they want to swing with. So that is going to be this list for Purple Lilith Loop Boosted Set 5. I hope you guys like this. If you have any suggestions, or if you played this yourself and have different things you run, do let me know what you're running in the comments below. I love to hear it. I love to hear how this deck works for you if you try it. Let me know in the next video. And until that next video, remember to stay hungry until you get a taste of victory.